to the Ticket City Cactus Bowl on ESPN as a part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Tonight in Tempe, Arizona, our matchup, the Washington Huskies out of the Pac-12 and the Oklahoma State Cowboys from the Big 12.
He really has. This is his third start on the year, probably the biggest atmosphere he'll be in. He played in Bedlam, had them to the win, but a bowl game has a different feel. And this is going to be an extremely tough defense he's going against with the Washington Huskies. 3 All-Americans on the other side of the ball, but they do have some weaknesses in the secondary. So if they can protect Mason Rudolph, that is critical. Maybe he can get something going.
And he will get the ball first. Washington won the toss. They defer. It's kind of a low squib-style kick. Brandon Shepard is the return man, and it is a big story for the Cowboys in special teams and on offense. They don't have Tyreek Hill. And, Danny, he was their best playmaker, clearly on special teams, maybe on offense as well. Right after their upset win against Oklahoma in the Bedlam rivalry game, Tyreek Hill was arrested just a few days later. A day after that, he was kicked off this Oklahoma State team, so they have to find offense without Tyreek Hill. It's
going to be tough. You know, I'd look for them to try to get the run game established, but a guy like David Glidden on the outside, he's going to have to step it up. But most importantly, they've got to give Mason Rudolph time to throw. That's been an issue all year long, the offensive line for the Cowboys.
And considering that, you already mentioned it, this is not a great matchup. Washington gets to the quarterback. That's what the Huskies do. So the first play from scrimmage, it'll be a handoff straight ahead running for Desmond Rowland, who's going to be leaned on as perhaps the primary ball carrier without Tyreek Hill. There is Mason Rudolph. The plan was he was going to redshirt all the way until the end. The final 2 games, they took off the redshirt, put him in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a desperation move. It's been that type of year for Oklahoma State. It's been a bad year. They finished the season 1-5 after that 5-1 start. They're looking to cap it off and bring some enthusiasm into the spring and next year.
Play fake, and Rudolph throws over the middle. Nice delivery and the catch for a first down. So right away, you see what they like about it.
First in the country, giving up 283 yards in the air.
So it's first down, Cowboys. And that is the thing. If you can protect the quarterback against Washington, they have not made a lot of big plays in the secondary. Rudolph got to the line quickly, now got the call. And we'll hand off on first down around the right side. That's Rowland again, who has the capability. He made some big plays on the ground against the Sooners.
Yeah, he's a big back, 6'2", 210 pounds. And one of the ways you can neutralize a front seven, especially a pass rush, you can do some things to help protect an offensive line that struggled. To get the ball out, quick release, maybe some draws and screens, and try to establish that run game. And tempo. Tempo always hurts a pass rush.
2nd and 6 for Oklahoma State on the first drive of this Ticket City Cactus Bowl. That quick pass out onto the right side, completed. And the run after the catch knocked out of bounds short of a first down. James Washington. Here are the impact players when the Cowboys have the ball.
I mentioned Glidden just a second ago. He's been the one bright spot at wide receiver for the Cowboys. And then Haoli Kikaha, the regular season leader in sacks, needs only a half a sack to regain that title. And then Shaq Thompson, a 2-way player, has been a dominant force in the middle linebacker position.
3rd and short for Oklahoma State. Getting closer to midfield, they will hand it off to Rowland, and that stumble forward. I don't think he got there. He's short by a half a yard, clearly. And we'll see if in a bowl game, a 6-6 team, is Mike Gundy willing to play and take some risks, and I think they are. They're going to go for it.
Why not, right? It's been that kind of a year. You can set a tone early. It's risky, but I like it. Send a message to your offensive players. Always get enthused by it. And just a little heads up. Number 91, James Castleman, entering the game. He's a defensive player, comes in as a blocker there in the up back position, in motion right there.
You see him motion as a fullback, and the straight ahead run for a first down, and Castleman did get a block on.
He absolutely mauled the end guy of the line of scrimmage. I don't know if it had that much of an impact on the play, but when you bring in a blocker 6'2", 300 pounds in the backfield, everybody gets a little bit more amped up when you see that type of player come on the field in the huddle.
So, I think that in some ways that's what a bowl game is all about. A coach can maybe be a little bit more free, more risk-taking. 1st and 10, Oklahoma State. Handoff, Rowland. to midfield, a gain of 3.
I think early on, you see it typically against a team that runs up tempo. It takes the defense a little bit of time to get used to the pace, to kind of see the offensive game plan taking shape. So this would be a great opportunity for Oklahoma State to utilize that newness of this scheme to Washington, to use that to their advantage, catch them off sides a little bit.
Well, we're seeing some of those star players who play almost every snap for Washington. Those standouts are in there the whole game. Here's a deep shot down the field, an open receiver, and it's caught. It's David Glidden for a big gain down to the 20-yard line. 30 yards through the air.
David Glidden, he's only 5'7", 185 pounds, just comes in from that slot position and runs a corner route. Beautifully thrown ball from Rudolph. And I think this is why a lot of people are excited about what Mason Rudolph brings to the table. That was a beautiful pass.
The last 2 games, Oklahoma State's offense looked like the offense we've seen for the last decade. Play fake over the middle. The pass is caught. The tight end once again, Jeremy Seaton. It's going to be 1st and goal, Cowboys.
Notice the quick release from Rudolph, getting the hand out of his, getting it out of there quick. And here you go, up tempo.
Yeah, speaking of quick, that handoff right away. I mean, no time wasted. They
go fast. That one was turbo speed right there.
And I think we're going to see big number 91 come in the game once again. So he's a guy who has not played much offense. We talk about the two-way players for the Huskies. They've got a couple of them, some of the most prominent two-way players in the country, but you're going to get 2 defensive linemen in the game.
Ofa is lined up as a tailback.
Yeah, look at him. And now the quarterback vacates. So the defensive lineman is going to take the snap himself and pull his way forward for a touchdown. How about that for a wrinkle?
How many fat guy touchdowns have we seen this season? Arkansas did it just the other day. We saw Baylor do it. And now Castleman wants in on it. I guarantee he was begging for that ball to get that opportunity. He just ran over that Washington defense.
Well, the Baylor kid makes him look like a small guy.
That's true.
But relative to just about everybody else, that is a big boy touchdown, that's for sure. And the extra point coming from the hero of Bedlam, Ben Grogan, who kicked the field goal that won the game in overtime. Extra point up and good. What a start for the Cowboys, who had a disappointing year by their standards. A great start to their bowl game.
I guarantee you Washington didn't see this coming. Castleman lined up as a wildcat, gets it and basically runs just a lead. And if you want to run a power play, that's how you do it. Get your ball carrier, 6'2", 300. Rudolph, the quarterback, he actually went in motion to the outside. He's got to love that. What a great opening drive for Oklahoma State. How about the defenders, the defensive players coming over, giving their guys some love? I called him a fat guy. You called him a big boy. Yours was definitely more PC.
Well, just another example of Castleman's athleticism. We saw it on the touchdown run. He blocked 3 kicks this year on special teams. He's 6'2". It's not like he's a 6'7" giant, but a big-time playmaker. And now the Cowboys will kick it off deep. Very dangerous return man, John Ross, for the Huskies, who gets drilled across the 25. So now a pistol look for the Huskies, who get the ball back. That's the 2nd turnover they've created already in this one. And Dwayne Washington with the carry for a gain of 2. I'm glad you brought that up about Buda Baker, who made that interception, because he is in this tradition of Huskies two-way talents. Potentially a guy they could use that way. He was a tremendous high school player both ways growing up in the Seattle area. He actually committed to Oregon initially as one of the big recruits in the country. Here's Washington, a 2nd carry in a row. Baker changed his commitment to the Huskies, stayed close to home.
I love it. I love the fact that Washington lets guys play on both sides of the ball. Let your playmakers play. They're young. They're 18 to 22. They can go out there and play a few extra plays.
Well, we asked Chris Peterson about it. And that's exactly what he said. He goes, "We want to do it. We're looking to do it. We think it's if a guy can do it, we're letting him." Miles will scramble. Miles trying to get to that 1st down mark. He could not get there. Comes up a yard or 2 short, and now decision time for the Huskies.
They got to go for it. I would think so. I mean, Oklahoma State, first drive of their game, they're coming out. They had a much more manageable, about 4th and a half a yard on their opening drive. But at this point of the field, I like this decision. Chris Peterson, he's not going to hold anything back either.
Yeah, he's the guy who invented all the wacky stuff in bowl games.
This might not need, you don't need wacky, you need power. Oh, the pooch.
Yeah, so Miles is going to punt at the quarterback. That's not very wacky. This one will land inside the 10 and bounce backwards to the 15. Not much net there for Washington. So the Huskies not taking the chance. Baker, that spectacular interception, but just 26 yards on the punt. Huskies back on defense, down by a touchdown. Now, I would say that's a pretty cool look. Way high above Sun Devil Stadium here in the desert, the U.S. Air Force Academy, Wings of Blue, a parachute demo, and the crew jumped in before kickoff for the cameras so we could get that look high up above.
Really cool. I love watching those guys come in.
Now, we asked about Danny Shelton, listed at 339, and the Huskies coach had just said, well, no, he's a little bigger than that. Not much room there. Shelton was not the primary tackler that time. They do have some depth up front. That was Taniela Tupou. 2nd and 19. The pass that was negated by the penalty was a 20-yard play, so essentially a 30-yard difference with the holding call.
That was that same corner route to Glidden out of the slot. They've attempted that several times.
But the Cowboys have been the team moving the ball. Mason Rudolph, freshman quarterback, sets up a screen, and that block was a successful run. Rennie Childs got to the edge, still going outside the 40, takes a hit and nearly gets the first down. So that was a very successful play on 2nd and long.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're Oklahoma State. You want to get it back where you take some of that pressure off your offensive line, opens up a potential run play here on 3rd and 3. The defensive line can't just pin their ears back. The linebackers have to respect the pass. So a really successful player. Great effort there by Childs, too.
16 yards to set up 3rd and 3. Sophomore from Houston. Rudolph looking to throw. That quick hitter and a nice catch in traffic. Number 7, Brandon Shepard, another reception for him. And it's another Oklahoma State first down.
Well, that throw was on a dime to Shepard. Watch that. He's draped in coverage and just puts it right on his body. Mason Rudolph did. That's good coverage. That just shows you there truly is. There's no defense for a perfectly thrown ball and a receiver who can make catches in traffic like that.
They've gotten Shepard involved quite a bit in this first quarter. Last minute and a half of quarter number 1 from Tempe. Rudolph, that's another backwards pass. This time they're throwing it back to the quarterback who's got blockers in front. And Rudolph using those blockers well into Washington territory. Knocked out of bounds inside the 30.
Remember a few series ago, you saw that exact same opening swing pass to Shepard. It's a lateral. They get it back. Look at all those offensive linemen out in front. You got a wall running for you. And one Washington defender comes up. If they make that block, Rudolph might have scored. So a pretty good game-saving tackle there by Sidney Jones for Washington.
22-yard gain as it was. Number 71, offensive lineman, just couldn't quite catch up. Handoff, Cowboys, left side running for a short gain. This, of course, the old home of the Arizona Cardinals. Now they play over in Glendale, where we were a couple days ago for the Fiesta Bowl. Here's a throw over the middle. He's got a man, and it's caught! One-handed touchdown catch for the freshman James Washington. 13-0 Oklahoma State. And now we know why they said that guy is their future star.
Boy, I tell you what an incredible read by Mason Rudolph. They ran 2 posts. The safety jumped all over the inside one, opened it up over the top, and how about the catch? I've seen a couple spectacular grabs from both teams. That time, James Washington, man.
28 yards, extra point, up and good. So it's 14-0 Oklahoma State. A quick 30-second timeout coming here from Tempe, but one more look at James Washington. Tremendous catch, freshman to freshman, Cowboys lead. We may be saying Rudolph to Washington a few more times over the years, because those two are really talented. And what a difference. The Cowboys look like a totally different team. Ross, the kick return man, and there's not a lot of room. Well, here we are in Tempe as the Huskies get the ball back on what is a chilly night. Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, Allison Williams. You're asking why are they bundled up? It's the desert. This is going to be one of the coldest nights in years here in the Phoenix area. But what a start for Oklahoma State. And they do look like a different team with their young quarterback.
They do. You know, a lot of times you win a game like they did against Oklahoma to get here to salvage their season. And it's sort of an emotional uplift. And you can tell they've carried over that momentum into this game. They're enthused. They're out there flying around the football. And they are executing on offense. Another thing besides Rudolph, it's the offensive line. They've done a better job. Aside from that one sack that they gave up, they've done a good job giving Rudolph time. But I'll tell you what, the defense came to play too.
Everything going right for the Cowboys. The Big 12's had a tough bowl season. The Pac-12's been great. Not here in Tempe. 14-0 Oklahoma State. So far, the Cowboys have been worth the long drive. Oklahoma State with a 14-0 lead over the Huskies of Washington. Start of the second quarter from the Ticket City Cactus Bowl. And it's not just the score that is lopsided. Man, was that first quarter dominated by Oklahoma State. Look at the yardage totals. 177-17. Washington did not have a single first down.
No, I think the surprising factor is that Washington has created 2 turnovers. They forced a fumble and had interception, but 0 points to show for it.
And they started in Cowboys territory twice, went 3 and out both times. Here's Washington on the outside and nowhere to run. Slipped down after getting a couple yards.
We talked earlier, and it's a lot of the conversation around bowl season as the motivation factor. Who wants to be here? And it does look like Oklahoma State is more enthused right now. And a lot of times it's not about who wants it more at the beginning of the game. It's about who wants to play the full 60 minutes and who will fight back when they're down like Washington is now.
Well, we've sure seen some comebacks this bowl season. Washington on the screen play gets about 7 yards, stopped short of the first down. The tremendous comeback today for Houston over Pitt, but that's not the only one. So
Michigan State against Baylor, what they accomplished. There's just been all kind of crazy football games.
So it's 4th down for Washington. There was a play in this drive before the quarter ended. 4th down, and Washington out of the Oklahoma State timeout will punt the ball away. The Huskies still don't have a single first down in this game. Brandon Shepard with room to return. Shepard gets to the 30 and no farther.
Oklahoma State right now is executing their offense better. And they're playing defense too. Right now they look like the better team. There's a lot of time left though.
And maybe the biggest theme so far is the kid who's taken the snaps. Number 10, Mason Rudolph, has made this look like a different team. He hands it off here around the edge. Shepard will get knocked out of bounds, and he took a hard hit. That was a tough 2 yards for Shepard. Sidney Jones, the freshman defensive back, with the hit.
Dave, you got to remember too that this Oklahoma State offense was scaled back a little bit. There's a look at the end of the play. Shepard gets knocked out of bounds. But while Mason Rudolph was making his first start or two, they had to be much more conservative. Tone it back a little bit. Now they've had 13 or 14 extra practices. They can open up the playbook a little bit.
Yep, good point. Pistol formation on 2nd and 8. They will hand the ball off to Rowland, who bounces it right, cuts it upfield. First down and more. Rowland into Washington territory, and the senior from Dallas with a big Cowboys run.
Well, you saw the pistol formation in the backfield. It's really just the I formation. You bump the quarterback back just a little bit. You can run some power running concepts. Boy, they're creating some holes up front against this very, very talented front seven for Washington.
Rowland will get another carry here. This time not nearly as much room. Danny Shelton was there to stop number 26, who's one of the most well-liked, respected players on this Oklahoma State team. He lost his mom to cancer a little more than a month ago. And without her there, his dad was in the stands in Norman. The upset win, he played a big part in the win against the Sooners. And I think his teammates were thrilled that he had such a big role in that huge win for the Cowboys. And a handoff, so not quite a trick play, but almost like a little misdirection. Rennie Childs was stopped about 3 yards short, maybe 4 yards short, and we'll see. Cowboys could elect to go for it again. Why not?
I think they will. I mean, where they are on the field, it's sort of that no man's territory. Why not? You've had a solid game executing so far, and you run the risk of giving Washington some momentum back, but their defense has been stopping them, so why not?
I like it.
Me too.
Pistol look for Mason Rudolph on 4th and 4. A couple extra tight ends, only 2 receivers. Rudolph rolling right. He'll throw, and he's got the first down. Absorbing a big hit and hanging on to the ball. The Cowboys tight end Blake Jarwin, sophomore, who is a walk-on, who's really turned into a nice player for the Cowboys.
How about this little play action to get Rudolph on the outside, give him some viewing room where he can see the field, and then he delivered a bullet to Jarwin. I like it. He got aggressive there. He might have had an easier pass underneath, but he said, I'm going to take the big chunk.
Now a handoff left side running for Childs. Nowhere to go.
Sidney Jones, another nice tackle on the outside. The problem is some of these tackles that are being made are coming from the second level for Washington. We're seeing safeties and corners making the stops. We need some of those. If you're a Washington fan, you want to see some of those linebackers and defensive linemen making some tackles, preferably for losses.
This time a run by Rowland to get a couple of yards. Shaq Thompson, the standout linebacker, who may well be playing his final game with the Huskies, to be determined. Just a junior, has played all 3 years, but he's eligible to leave for the draft. And he is a real prospect. Rudolph throwing over the top into coverage, and it was intercepted but out of bounds. So Jones could not stay in bounds.
I think he might have caught this ball with another. We saw one-handed interception. Let's see, Sidney Jones. He almost looks like a receiver running a fade route. He catches that ball. Where are his feet? Where does it come down with it?
Right there.
I think his toe was down.
But there the ball pops out.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
So that, they don't have to take an extra look at that. The ball did come out, and now Oklahoma State's going to try a 40-yard field goal with Ben Grogan. Kick up. Kick is good. Well, even the kicking game standing out for Mike Gundy and the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. 9:22 left in the first half, and they lead 17-0. 17-0. So the good times, the good feelings have rolled right into the bowl game. It took a remarkable comeback and a dramatic win in the final game of the year for Oklahoma State to even get here. And now they're taking advantage so far of that opportunity. John Ross, ultra fast, trying to get to that outside. Ross just nowhere to go. Great coverage by Oklahoma State. Siler Miles will hand it off to Dwayne Washington, who squirts through. Washington has become a big play running back for the Huskies, and they finally get a first down. That's their first of the game.
They got to get these guys going, and saw that big play from Dwayne Washington. I love the high step, little old school at the end of this run. Right there, look at him high stepping, getting out, trying to avoid some defenders, and somebody needs to create a spark for Washington. They need to get these running backs going, take some pressure off Siler Miles, and give their defense a break.
Napoleon Kaufman ever do that? Little high step look?
He didn't have to. He was out just running away from people.
He was gone.
They couldn't catch him.
Well, Washington's been gone a bunch down the stretch. He really sort of took the job the last 3 games of the year.
Yeah, his last 3 games averaged 127 yards per game. That's what Chris Peterson talked about, their strong finish to the season. But they struggled against the Pac-12 top-tier competition, 0-5 versus ranked Pac-12 teams.
Miles play fake, receiver open. He hits that receiver for a first down and more. Into Cowboys territory, Jarrell Daniels, the sophomore tight end.
And now when you get the run game open, you can use a little play action. That's just faking the speed sweep. Get the linebackers to cross over there, and then you find Daniels wide open. I like the quick release from Siler Miles, too.
19 yards down to the 38. Washington needs a drive, and they need to finish that drive. Wow, Oklahoma State finished that tackle. Deontay Cooper got the carry. Josh Furman, senior who started his career at Michigan, has come to Oklahoma State and had a nice year.
Yeah, nice play right there. He just lit up the ball carrier. And you mentioned it right before. This drive has the feel of a must-score drive for the Huskies. Look at the time of possession, just owned, and that's the storyline of this game. It's been dominated.
And off, Washington back in the game. Nothing there, no gain. Vili Leveni, redshirt freshman. Seth Jacobs will make that tackle.
One thing we haven't seen from Washington are many shots down the field. Oklahoma State's taking some nice vertical passes. Washington is not. I don't know if you'll see it here on a third down. They want to get the first, but eventually they need to start taking a shot.
Yeah, big play here. They swing it out left side. Washington lunges forward, and I think he stayed in bounds. Well, I don't know. I guess he didn't.
Do you notice who spotted that football right there? Not that official. That was Mike Gundy. He went over and said, there's this footprint in the grass. Let's see if he was accurate. Yep. Yeah. You saw that left foot go out of bounds. Mike Gundy, a couple Oklahoma State coaches came up, and now on a 4th and 2. I don't think you're going to see a pooch punt here like we did the last time they were in a 4th and 2 situation.
Well, Mike Gundy used the offensive mind of this Oklahoma State program, calling the defense out, saying, look for the option play, look for the pitch play. And it is the option play. And they have to pitch it very early. Washington nowhere to go. Well, Coach Gundy saw that coming. He tipped his defense off.
Boy, what a beautiful play defensively from Oklahoma State. They strung it out. Richards, number 18, made the open field tackle. And right now, the Cowboys are rolling, making plays on both sides of the field, coming up with a 4th down stop.
Well, Mike Gundy, he is known as an offensive head coach. His Oklahoma State Cowboys playing so well. But look at Coach Gundy with his team on defense, calling out the play that turned out to be the play.
Look at him. Watch the pitch. Watch the option. Watch the pitch. And he called it.
He did. Watching it on 4th down, ran the option. He saw it coming. And the defense was ready for it. So Oklahoma State gets the ball back. Desmond Rowland, who's really done a nice job at tailback. Tyreek Hill had been such a star off this team out of the Oklahoma State program, but Rowland has made a lot of plays in his first half.
Well, I tell you what, Oklahoma State is on the attack. They just really balanced attack, running the ball well, throwing it.
That temperature continues to fall. At nighttime here in the Valley of the Sun, it's 38 degrees and dropping. Handoff. Rowland made a couple Huskies miss. Now, that could have been a big loss. Instead, it's a nice gain. Let's go down to the field. Allison Williams.
Well, a key tonight, how the Cowboys offensive line can deal with this Huskies defense that has 49 sacks on the year. So far, pretty good offensive line. Coach Bob Conley seemed very pleased. He told his guys, I know it's difficult against these guys, but you have to just keep controlling the aggression, hit them in the mouth, and make them play into us. He's very happy with the play action, how they've sold the run. He told them to be ready for some pressure, some movement, and for them to mix it up.
So 3rd and short, a rare snap under center. Rowland got drilled, but falls forward and I think gets the first down. Oli Kikaha, nice hit, but not quite enough. First down, Oklahoma State. And I think, Danny, what Allison was just talking about, they should be happy with the way their offensive line is playing.
Oh, no doubt. They've given time. There's our big guy, the big boy, James Castleman. In on the short yardage situations.
Helping to lead the way. On first down, Oklahoma State right back into Washington territory. Now they do need to use their tempo. They have 1 timeout left. Already leading 17-0 with right around a minute to go. And the freshman Mason Rudolph, we've been impressed with him. Gets everybody organized. It is 2nd down. They didn't quite get a first down. Play fake. Rudolph over the top. The pass is caught. And what a move by Brandon Shepard. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown.
What a throw and catch, and a little juke move at the end by Brandon Shepard. You know, we talked about what Tyreek Hill, you know, what he meant in that Oklahoma game at Bedlam. But Brandon Shepard had a big game as well, and here he is capping this bowl first half off with An incredible catch and juke. Man, Oklahoma State is taking Washington to the woodshed right now.
What a story here in Tempe, and what a turn that was. Extra point up and good, but not what the Huskies were hoping for. Oklahoma State, a tremendous performance, and their head coach is down on the field getting ready to visit with Allison Williams.
Thank you very much, Coach Gundy. Going back to that last game against Oklahoma, that final quarter overtime, and then here in the first half tonight, what is it about this offense that's clicking so well?
Well, we're able to hit some big passes, make some plays. We need to protect better, and we're able to run the ball at times. We did turn the ball over a couple times, so we have to eliminate those, but defense is playing terrific.
Yeah, what is it defensively that you've done well to keep them off the board in the first half?
For the most part, they've tackled really well. We've got some pressure on their quarterback, but we've tackled well in space and gotten them down.
Coach Gundy, thanks for the time, guys.
All right, thanks, Allison. Well, Mike's got to be happy with the way that first half went here in Tempe. Cowboys enjoying the desert. They lead 24-0.
It is now time for the Ticket City.
Yeah, defense.
Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. The Ticket City Cactus Bowl on ESPN as part of Capital One Bowl Mania, and a very surprising result after the first half. Underdog Oklahoma State leading Washington 24-0. Well, this bowl season has certainly taught us that big leads in the bowl games are not safe. So who knows? This one is not over. Houston 25 points down. They beat Pitt. Michigan State down 20 against a top 5 team. They win in the Sugar Bowl. Ohio State there come from behind victory over Alabama. Penn State had a big comeback win against Boston College. So who knows? I'm sure the Huskies in part are talking about that possibility here after Oklahoma State just totally dominated the first half. Kickoff deep to John Ross. It's going to kick into the end zone, and after a little hesitation, Ross is going to bring it out, and not a good decision. So the Huskies offense will take over. Back here in Tempe, Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, and yeah, I don't think it's an ascot. I think it's a scarf.
It's a
It looks
scarf,
good.
exactly.
Jesse, geez. But good first half for Oklahoma State in almost every way. The freshman quarterback, Mason Rudolph, was really impressive. Their defense, though, really stood out to me. We're going to see him on the field here to start the half.
Yeah, at both sides of the ball for Oklahoma State, they've been flying around. They're playing with a tremendous amount of energy. They've been executing their offense better. Washington needs something to spark their team. I don't know if Chris Peterson, he's a trick play guy, maybe do something of that nature, but they have got to take a shot down the field, something to light a fire under them. They just are a little bit flat. It's cold out. They need something to get some energy going.
Siler Miles, the quarterback. Nowhere to go with the ball. He had plenty of time. Now on the move, and Miles, who is a good athlete, up the field for a gain of 3. Let's check in on the field with Allison Williams.
Yeah, I talked to a frustrated Chris Peterson at the half, and I asked him why his offense wasn't able to get anything going. He said, that's a good question. We've had a few guys get open, but we haven't been accurate. And then they've gotten beat up front, so they haven't been able to throw the ball. And those two things combined for a pretty ineffective offensive first half.
Okay, thanks, Allison. Miles throws. He's got his receiver. Caught Jadon Mickens for a Washington first down. And like Mike Gundy, Danny, Chris Peterson is known as an offensive coach.
Yeah, see Jadon Mickens, after he makes that catch, jumps up, clapping the hands, trying to encourage his teammates to get it going a little bit more up-tempo, more of a sense of urgency.
Does not look like a normal Chris Peterson offense, that's for sure. Miles, again, a long time to throw. Incomplete.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot, too. Miles getting up off his back. They've got to do a better job protecting him. I like to see the ground game, too. I mean, this is something that they've been doing effectively on the season, is running the football a little bit better. They have not been able to move the football because of that guy right there. He's been a movable object. And that interior, James Castleman for Oklahoma State.
2nd and 10. The swing pass out to the running back, Washington, but the defense right there. Seth Jacobs, who's from Southern California, so this is close to home for him, and a loss on the play.
And this is not what you want to have on your first drive for Washington. Coming out, you get a nice couple completions, then you get a loss, and you're sitting here in 3rd down and long when you've struggled to protect the quarterback.
Miles, little pump fake. Still behind the line. And he dumps it off. What a nifty play for a first down. Now that was beautifully done to Dante Pettis. He stayed behind the line of scrimmage and just kept buying time.
Yeah, a great escape. Watch this little flip. Brings the defenders up to him. That little jump pass drops it right over the top. Clearly behind the line of scrimmage as he released the football. And this drive, we said it a couple times in the first half, but and again, another critical drive for Washington to create some momentum, cut into this lead, and start feeling like they have a chance.
Daniels, the tight end, went in motion. From a pistol type look, a little play fake. Miles on the move, throws with a flag down, a completion again. And Daniels, the tight end, came all the way across the field for the catch. Out at the 31, we'll see what the call is.
It's holding on Oklahoma State.
Holding, defense number 10. Penalties declined. First down.
Yeah, Seth Jacobs, a linebacker, got caught up with a receiver and just grabbed a lot of them. Officials were all over it. Here he is right in your screens. He gets twisted around and just grabs number 82, the intended receiver, Joshua Perkins. So good call by the officials, but it didn't matter because Washington, there was a big pop at the end of that play from Washington. Their sideline starting to get hyped up.
And it was an 18-yard gain. Huskies first down. Encouraging start to the half for Washington. Now a flip back, a reverse. Mickens out into the open. Jadon Mickens cuts it back in. End zone touchdown. .31 yards, and the Huskies badly needed that.
Remember we said, how about a trick play? Chris Peterson goes with a little reverse. Get Oklahoma State to over Purdue, and Jadon Mickens, the same guy that caught the initial pass of this drive and was fired up clapping at his teammates. He's the guy that takes it in, and Chris Peterson's got to breathe a sigh of relief from seeing that. Finally, some execution out of the Huskies.
Cameron Van Winkle, extra point up and good. Well, Washington got the ball first, and Mickens, you know, you pointed it out, Danny. The first completion of the drive went to Mickens, and he popped up and tried to give his team some life. He capped off the drive with this big play.
Yeah, got a block from his quarterback leading the way. Gets enough, little step back to the inside. He didn't even need the block. That was pretty wide open once they got through there. I don't know if Miles got anybody anyway, but it looked like he was going to.
Effort, he was trying.
Right out, he would have.
I think if you're a quarterback and you do that,
right.
you get some credit for that.
Yep, sure.
Kickoff. Shepard deep to return for Oklahoma State. Bounces off the first tackle attempt and gets by the second. To the 25, to the 30, out to the 35.
You saw it. He just bounced off of him.
31 yards is pretty spectacular. Another handoff rolling, and again, nice room up the middle. You know, you and I have spent a lot of time, rightfully so, talking about this true freshman quarterback who's been a huge difference maker. The offensive line, it looks like a totally different unit from the one that struggled most of the year.
Yeah, they have really had a carousel up front. And the one thing that's pretty impressive, and you've got to be excited about if you're an Oklahoma State fan, is there are a lot of youth playing lately. So they're getting valuable reps. Get a fresh, clean slate coming into next season.
A couple of guys have gotten healthy. They've shuffled things around a little bit. It's made a difference. Over the top throw. Jump ball caught at the 40 by Jawan Seals, the sophomore. Another young guy who has a chance to be a very good player.
A beautiful throw, too. See Seals. This is tightly covered. Again, little back shoulder throw, just a hair underthrown, but I believe it's on purpose. And Seals adjusts to it, goes up and catches it at the high point. Really impressive. 20
yards into Washington territory. Another Oklahoma State first down. A pitch back from the tailback. Rudolph will be sacked. Well, they tried the flea flicker type play, but Washington got to the quarterback.
I don't know who gets credit for that sack, because there were about 3 or 4 white jerseys that showed up in a hurry. They almost over pursued, and then Rudolph's taking his time, looking downfield. Evan Hudson, number 80, probably gets the credit for the sack. Interesting to watch. Kikaha, no sacks on the night. He's half a sack short of being the full season leader in sacks. He's at 18 on the season, needs a half to regain that lead.
Rolling. Nice cut to get an extra yard or two. Back down to the 44. Nate Orchard of Utah with a big sack total in the regular season, but he was still behind Kikaha. But in the bowl game, Orchard got a sack, so he has vaulted over Oli Kikaha.
24 tackles for a loss as well. You said it earlier, we were talking about this defense and him specifically. He's not playing in the Pac-12 where Scooby Wright is playing. He might have been the conference defensive player of the year.
Unanimous All-American. 3rd and 15, and this is where he licks his chops. Rudolph in the shotgun. Kikaha can't get there. The throw into coverage, and it's caught. Now there was a bobble at the end of that play. Washington saying no catch. The officials are going to talk about this one. That's Blake Jarwin in big-time traffic. We still haven't, I mean, the initial signal was catch, but now they say incomplete.
Well, a lot of talking, good communication by the officials. I think they're going to get this right. Maybe. It is tough there at the very end. Jarwin kind of rolls over in that ball, but the question is, did he have it long enough as he came down? Did he have it? Did he have it for a second when he was on his back, and then after he's down, did it come out?
But the call stands. 4th down. The punt team is out there. Kip Smith will try to pin Washington deep. A little pressure on the punter. Now it lands, and I think that hit a Husky. Oh, what a mistake. John Timu in special teams coverage. Oklahoma State has the football. Now we haven't had an official ruling yet to make sure that it actually touched a Washington player before that.
I think it hit the back of number 10, John Timu.
I mean, to me, it hit him. I thought it was clear.
The ruling on the field is that the kick hit a member of the receiving team and then was recovered by the kicking team. It will be the kicking team's ball, 1st down.
Wow, what a change of events. You figure they got the break with the call. You see Timo, he's looking at the defenders. That definitely hits him. It hits left side of his body. And that's a situation where the returner, the punt returner, as he sees that ball coming up short, he has got to yell at the top of his lungs, get out of the way, you know, clear out. He's got to, they have some sort of code word that they use to let people know.
Good hustle, by the way. That was the snapper, Josh Elias. I hope I'm getting his name right. He just snaps only for punts. Hustled all the way down the field. He's a guy who recovered the ball on the turf. Got Oklahoma State the ball back. Handoff up the middle. Desmond Rowland with the carry inside the 10 for the Cowboys. And you're right, that is a game changer, that play.
You would think so.
Washington feeling better, get the ball back. Now their defense has to hold. Rudolph to Rowland. Good defense there. A loss of a yard or so to set up 3rd down.
I want to see, this is getting close to James Castleman territory. Pick 91. I don't know if he's coming in yet. Might not be enough short yardage situation. Getting down there close to the red zone. They're going to keep in their normal personnel here.
He's got his helmet on.
Yeah, he's ready to go. I guarantee you, he's begging for that football.
I wouldn't want to try to tackle him. 3rd and 5. Big play, especially for the Huskies defense. Rudolph, the lob to the corner, jump ball.
Picked. Sidney Jones
It's an interception.
came down with it. Wow.
What a play by Sidney Jones. The officials were looking at Brandon Shepard, the receiver, like he had the ball. He did not have it. So the defense, huge by Washington.
That's a jump ball. I mean, this is sort of like just throwing it up for grabs. That's all you're doing is giving your receiver a chance. But watch Sidney Jones. He gets on. It is like a basketball player who's boxing out for a rebound, gets the body position, then kind of hauls it in with his left hand butt as you see that.
I think
football
it hit the turf.
come loose.
I think it hit the turf.
I do too. I don't.
Well, Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, Allison Williams back here for the Ticket City Cactus Bowl. Here is the play that was under review, and it was initially ruled an interception for Sidney Jones and Washington. But after watching this, you can see the football right
Bounce.
there.
Yeah, you can see it bounce off the ground back into his lap.
And so they overturned the call. It's an incomplete pass. 4th and 5 from the 10-yard line. And the Cowboys will attempt a 27-yard field goal with Ben Grogan. He's made a 40-yarder already in this game. 1:51 to go, third quarter. Kick is up, man, perfect. 3 reviews in the 5 previous plays before that field goal. The special teams turnover cost Washington 3 points, and the lead for Oklahoma State back up to 20, 27-7. Kickoff. John Ross, nifty cut, and Ross out into the open, and you're not going to catch that guy. He is gone. 96 yards. Special teams mistake with the turnover. Big play by the special teams to get the touchdown. His 2nd of the year. It's hard to believe, Danny, he had 3 of them that were called back because of penalty. If those penalties hadn't been called, he would have had 5 this season, including that one.
That is exactly what Washington needed, too. Man, did you see the Jets on John Ross?
Not going to catch him.
Wow.
Kick is good. So, man, what a wild last couple minutes in both directions. Mike Gundy's team is still ahead, but Chris Peterson and company are feeling a whole lot better.
One of the biggest things you need if you want a big comeback is a quick striking score, one that doesn't take a lot of time off the clock. And how about this one? A little bit of hesitation, makes a couple guys miss, jukes the kicker, and then from this point on, it's just a foot race. And you said it, Dave, nobody is catching John Ross. And man, Chris Peterson, whatever he said at halftime, get some of that.
It's a different Washington team. Now, will it be enough? Oklahoma State is still doing a lot of things well, but the Huskies were so lifeless and flat, and they just did not look good in any phase in that first half. Things have changed dramatically since halftime. They will kick it off deep. The Huskies will. Shepard back. He lets it bounce. Almost rolls out of bounds. And Shepard lucky to at least get it out across the 20 to about the 20. A 1st and 10, Oklahoma State with a lot better field position. A handoff, a big hole. Big hit from John Timu. The big one. Cut back, straight ahead running, 1st down to midfield.
It's one way to take back the tone of the game for Oklahoma State, do it on the ground.
I think everybody was wondering, no Tyreek Hill, kicked off the team. Will they get anything on the ground? They've had a nice run game tonight. Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. A much different feeling game than it was in the first half. Rudolph pressured, got away from Kikaha, but did not get away from Andrew Hudson and company.
He saw Kikaha, the frustration there. I think he knows exactly what he needs to get that sack total up to where he's the sole individual leader. You see him kind of shaking his head. He knows he had an opportunity there.
Well, he's got 15 more minutes of football, and who knows, maybe more after that to try to get that national lead. End of the third, 27-14, Oklahoma State. Well, if you're in the desert, it's holiday time. Yeah, you decorate your Christmas tree. You got to make sure your cactus is decorated too, though, with the holiday lights. Starting to the fourth quarter, the Ticket City Cactus Bowl. 27-14. Oklahoma State, which was dominating at halftime. The third quarter went the way of the Huskies, though. 2nd and 11 from right around midfield. And a handoff. Rennie Childs gets a good chunk of yards inside the 45 to set up 3rd and 4.
You know, number 55 for Washington, Danny Shelton, he was over there yapping. You noticed that he was yapping, yelling at Oklahoma State during that break. And this is a big dude. He is going to play on Sunday. He's going to be a top draft pick. And he's a guy, in this situation, you need this offensive front to come up with a stop on this 3rd down for Washington to get back in this game.
Mason Rudolph, freshman quarterback, with the play fake, being pursued, dumps it short, and you can see that big hit coming.
There are 3 All-Americans on this Washington Husky defense. That was one of them, Shaq Thompson, who came up and delivered the blow right there. Now you got a 4th and short, and Oklahoma State staying on the field. But how about this play? 7 puts a beat on it, comes up, and just destroys the ball carrier. That's impressive right there.
And that's a huge tackle to stop that receiver right there, because Oklahoma State has decided to punt. Now, Washington's a little disorganized here.
Punt safe.
Yeah, you almost keep your base defense on the field in a situation like this. Put a little pressure on Kip Smith, the punter. This one will land inside the 5. Another excellent punt for the Cowboys. Another long field ahead. Down 13 in the 4th quarter, and this time just a jailbreak pressure all over Miles. James Castleman, number 91.
While we're raving about Washington's defense, Oklahoma State saying, hey, what about us? James Castleman, the senior, right from the interior, fights right around the center. Mike Christ gets there. Ogbach met him at this quarterback. No chance for Miles to get that ball off.
Yeah, the protection just broke down every which way. Miles throwing, right on the sideline. Perfect timing of that play. Jadon Mickens once again.
Boy, in college with these wide hashes, this wasn't from the hash, but this ball covered a lot of territory. That first foot was down.
Yep.
Mickens at left, got it in. Big time throw from Miles.
And a quick snap. Mickens cuts it upfield. Jadon Mickens all the way to the 41.
Don't forget who started sort of this emotional turnaround for Washington. The opening drive of the 2nd half, it was Jadon Mickens who came up, bounced up after a catch. He's been yapping on the sideline to his own teammates. Enthusiastic. I love it.
Handoff and a spin around from Deontay Cooper to get a yard. It's funny, we talk about the big guys for Washington, Shelton and Kikaha. It's been Mickens and John Ross, maybe the 2 littlest guys on the whole roster who've been the spark plugs.
Yep, no doubt about it.
There's still a lot of time left in a bowl season that has been full of comebacks. Miles, a screen set up. They complete it, but Oklahoma State read it.
That was read perfectly. Marvin Hall caught that ball, and as soon as he jumped up to catch the ball, and almost as soon as he hit the ground, he had defenders that were all over him. Now, this would be a situation too, Dave, where it's 3rd and long. You don't have to get it all back. So if you're Silent Miles, you got to kind of be aware of the situation here. Positive yardage would be great. Keep that 4th down potential there.
Yeah, it's a good point. Man in motion, pressure. Miles throws short, and it's caught by the tight end, and maybe that's exactly what you were talking about.
Yep.
Perkins tackled short of the 1st down, but right around the 38-yard line. You figure Washington's got to go for it. They will.
Absolutely. And where they're on the territory, on the field, really aren't a lot of options. I better not see another pooch punt. I'll tell you that, Dave. We've seen it a couple times. That will not be coming here.
4 receivers, 1 back. Miles. Oklahoma State showing some pressure. Now Washington got to the line quickly so they can make an adjustment to the call.
Now let's see if Oklahoma State, if they check out of the initial look that they showed.
Huge play in this game. With 1 on the play clock, they get the snap. Miles gonna try to scramble for it, and I don't think he got there. In fact, he's well short. I know he thought he was gonna get the 1st down. What a tackle for the Cowboys.
Well,
Seth Jacobs again.
There was a pocket for Miles to make a play with. Couldn't find a receiver, tries to scramble, and Oklahoma State in pursuit comes up with a stop.
That is a very big play in this game. 9:24 to go. Cowboys with the big lead, trying to hang on. Miles thought he was going to get it. Seth Jacobs said no. Part of this Ticket City Cactus Bowl week, the Oklahoma State players spent a lot of time over at a great facility, Phoenix Children's Hospital, with some of the kids over there. And the Cowboys, it wasn't just to do a good deed. Those players had a great time with those kids.
I remember making a lot of those chips as a player. You always leave there feeling very appreciative and admire what those children go through and the perseverance they show.
And that is a part of the bowl experience for these players. Desmond Rowland, and Oklahoma State power running for Rowland. He'll get right to the first down mark.
Well, that was a statement run right there for Oklahoma State. Goes over 100 yards on the night. Those were not easy yards, especially those last 4 or 5. He's getting banged around, knocked around. Look at all those offensive linemen for Oklahoma State going up there pushing the pile along too.
He's had a great game, and a kid who has had a very tough month, the senior who lost his mom about a month and a half ago. That pass, a quick completion, and a turn upfield and broken tackles. Still going, Brandon Shepard, who's been one of the stars for the Cowboys tonight.
He's got that move down, that little stop on a dime. And that is so tough. You can shift direction. You got the corner blitz. He side adjustments, makes it there twice. 3 times. Gets my little juke back to the inside.
23 yards on that one. From the pistol, Rowland will get another carry. And he's done that so often. I mean, that's a carry that gets nothing, but he avoided a loss.
He's been impressive. Really physical run game. Shedding tacklers, showcasing the speed at the end to get out of bounds, taking a lot of licks. I love the ability. He goes north and south, gets that ball up the field, gets those tough, hard-fought yards. This was one of the most impressive ones. They have been gashing Washington right up the middle. And you think about what Desmond Rowland has done, not really any big runs. It's all just been workhorse yardage.
I think that's really helped the freshman quarterback, though.
Oh, big time.
This time it is Childs who gets the ball, and Childs a gain of about 3.
All right, Washington, this might be your last opportunity.
Yep.
Get something, a sack, a strip, an interception. This could be it, though.
Third and 6. Rudolph looking to pass, looking for the end zone, incomplete. Good coverage there, intended for Shepard.
That was hail in coverage, and after he made the play, he kind of looked like he was guilty, didn't he? He was looking around like he was expecting a flag. I didn't think it was, but obviously Brandon Shepard feels like there was some contact.
Well, one thing about at least stopping Oklahoma State there is even if this field goal is good, a 16-point lead is in theory 2 scores. Now it's 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, but that's at least something for the Huskies. 34-yard try. Ben Grogan, the hero from Bedlam. 2 for 2. Make it 3 for 3. Right down the middle. Well, the Cowboys with 5:54 to go get 3 more, and they lead Washington 30-14. Now, Danny, I think you do have to give Oklahoma State a lot of credit for their attitude this week. They have enjoyed this bowl week. They invited all of their fans here in Phoenix over to the team hotel yesterday. That was what they called selfie day.
They took it to another level. They must have borrowed that selfie stick from Jesse Palmer. He's a huge selfie guy, so they must have got it from him.
A little, almost like a pooch kickoff. They don't want to give John Ross another chance. And maybe that's a good decision, up by 16 with 5:48 to go here in the 4th quarter. It's actually been a very fun year for our crew. Wrapping up here in Tempe. Silent Miles under pressure, being pursued by Agba, throws it away. And Agbo made him eat some grass at the
Pretty
end
good
of
catch
that
over
play.
there on the sideline for Oklahoma State. Another interception, turnover.
How good can this guy be? Just a sophomore.
He looks the part too. I mean, look at those pipes. His arms look good. He can rush the passer. He can hold up against the run. He is going to be a terror next year. Really tough to stop. I tell you, Oklahoma State, I think they'll be one of the picks coming out of the Big 12, especially when you look at some of the changes they've made. If you really get into it, quarterback position.
Be a fascinating lead. A big hit again. Miles hung in there. They'll deliver the pass, and Mason Williams is having a nice game. The senior playing his last game in a Huskies uniform all the way out to midfield. That was some tough guy football from Siler Miles.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little slow moving around. He's going to need a hot tub tomorrow. Taking some licks. That one, the hands of James Castleman. So, yeah, you talked about the 16-point deficit. They could score quickly.
Hey, look, Houston was down bigger with less time today, and they came back and won. Miles, that time, didn't want to take another big hit.
Smart move, smart move. You don't need to get that extra 3 or 4 yards just yet. It wasn't a 3rd or 4th down.
More quick tempo from the Huskies. 8-yard gain. Handoff, straight ahead running for Dwayne Washington, first down.
At some point, you've got to take a shot to the end zone because time is not your friend here. Chipping away, but
yep, they have all 3 timeouts. That's the running back, almost like an end-around type play. Dwayne Washington couldn't quite break free to the end zone, but he gets a good chunk of yardage. 12 more, another first down.
Yeah, big chunk, you'll take those. Oklahoma State will take those too. As long as you're not scoring on them,
yep,
they're going to make you work for it. Keep everybody in front of you. Don't let a receiver get behind you.
Just about 4 minutes to go. Miles with plenty of time this time, and he's got his man open. It is incomplete. Well, Washington was there, and they just could not connect. Miles throwing, caught by Williams, trying to get to that edge.
Again, you see these little bits of yardage, just they're not enough. Washington making those Oklahoma State making those open field tackles.
They hit a pass. Mickens cuts it upfield. Jadon Mickens to the end zone.
I'll tell you, it's been exciting to watch Jadon Mickens this second half because he has played with a ton of enthusiasm, passion for the game. It was 24-0 at the half. You wondered who was going to show up, and he led the charge. And it doesn't matter if Washington wins or not. I've been impressed with the way he single-handedly has sort of fought and just plied his way back into this game and tried to rally his troops. I've been impressed with that young man right there.
I think he's been their player of the game.
Yeah.
But this now is huge. So you get the touchdown Washington does, but they have got to convert this to have a realistic chance. So this is a very big play. The 2-point conversion to make it an 8-point lead. Mickens, by the way, is not even on the field. They hit Cooper in the flat, and Deontay Cooper walks in. That's huge for the Huskies. They are 1 score down with 3:29 to go.
You know what's big on that throw? That he kept him perfectly in stride, didn't slow him down. Deontay Cooper's able to take it into the end zone. So Washington, can they pull off the miracle? They're going to need to stop first.
Dave Fleming, Danny Cannell, Allison Williams here in Tempe. Jadon Mickens has been a spark for the Huskies, who are down 24-0 at halftime. Here we go, 3:29 left. It's a 1-score game.
Yeah, it's getting interesting. We were talking during the commercial break, and you like Washington possibly onside kicking here, and you made a pretty good point about what does it matter where field position is. If you give up a first down, the game's probably over anyway.
I just don't think there's as much of an advantage in the field position as the chance to get possession again, even if it's not a great chance, and I think that's what we're going to see. As Tristan Vizcaíno, who is the kickoff specialist. And it looks to me like he's lining, well, let's see. No, they're going to kick it deep. So I thought they were getting lined up. Instead, they kick it deep. And the Cowboys will bring it across the 20. Across the 25. Now, with 3:23 to go, Washington does have all 3 timeouts, but it is imperative that they stop Oklahoma State right now, even 1 first down, and forcing the Huskies to use those timeouts, and the Cowboys are almost there. 1st and 10. Rudolph with Rowland, who's been a star. Nowhere to go. There's Washington there, and they'll call their first timeout.
Quick timeout. I love it. How about, as we're watching this situation unfold, very similar to last night's Sugar Bowl.
Yep.
I almost had a heart attack when Urban Meyer chucked it down the field on 1st down and was wondering what was going on.
He's got Jeremy Seaton as a fullback alongside. Rudolph, play fake, and he is going to throw. Rudolph, the pass complete. The tackle, they're going to say out of bounds. So for the moment, that will stop the clock to Brandon Shepard. Short by a couple yards, and this play might be an exaggeration to say this is the game. And
There's the timeout a few seconds late.
Yeah, that's wasted. I mean, it's only 3 seconds, but and look who's coming into the game, by the way.
The big fella, James Castleman. Where he's lined up now, looks like they're going to use him as that up back.
So 3rd down and 2, with basically the game on the line for Washington. And they will play fake. Amazing. The throw. Caught! And it's the big guy. Rumbling down the sideline. Number 91 still going. Inside the 20. My goodness. James Castleman. Amazing. What a call. And what a moment for the senior.
Unbelievable play call, play action pass. He comes in motion. Look at the nimble feet as he comes across. And then how about the hands? Secures the football, sheds a tackler, tiptoeing down the sideline, maybe leaving a few marks in the dust. And then look at the ball security. It doesn't get any better than that.
I told you, trust him with the ball. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
A year of discouraging turns of events, tough losses, disappointment for Oklahoma State, and that makes up for at least some of it. Rowland with the carry, and Washington still has 1 timeout. They'll use it here, but with 2:17 to go and Oklahoma State in scoring position. Yeah, look at him.
That is fun to watch. I think we need to see more of that. We need to see more fat guys carry the football, get it in their hands.
I'm telling James you say that.
Oh, I'm sure he'd call himself one too.
This time it's rolling. Yeah, he's just destroying people up front.
He's going against Shaq Thompson that time. That guy's going to be playing in the NFL. He didn't want any part of Castleman.
Well, now no timeout, so the clock will roll. It is 3rd down, so the game is not technically over yet. But Oklahoma State in field goal range, which would make it a 2-score game if they decide to do that, if they don't get it here. Castleman, he's got 3 tackles, including a sack. He's got a rushing touchdown. He's got a catch for 48 yards on the key play of the game.
He's in there again.
Handoff, Rowland. Rowland is not quite going to get there.
Careful with that football.
And they blow the play dead. So now you're looking at under a minute to go when they snap it for 4th down. And we'll see if they do kick the field goal.
I think you would kick the field goal too. I don't think there's anything about running the score up. It's about securing the victory and taking out that potential crazy play finish.
Yeah, you have to. You just have to be careful not to get it blocked.
Yeah. I tell you, this will go a long way in the offseason for Oklahoma State. They'll make spring practice a lot more enjoyable for a lot of these guys who are coming back.
So here's Ben Grogan, who's had a nice game for the Cowboys. Short field goal try here. 27-yard attempt, basically to put it away. Kick is up, and he hooked it. It's no good. This game is not over. Not over. Wow.
What a shocker, too. A little chip shot. You never know what's going through a kicker's mind, where they like it on a field. It's sort of a tight angle on a shorter field goal from the wide hash. And he just comes right across it.
Man, that is...
Stay hooked.
He was wishing. His wish came true.
Back to business. 43 seconds.
Yeah, you need to go 80 yards. You need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion just to tie. And at that point, you would figure force overtime. But Siler Miles and Washington, they at least have some life. And nervous moments now for the Cowboys. All those laughs and yucks. Oklahoma State's got to make sure they concentrate. Miles pressured a little bit. Oklahoma State brings a rush, and Miles kind of heaves it up and throws it away. You know, this has been a theme all bowl season long, I think, Danny. And today, one of the great comebacks in bowl history. Houston against Pittsburgh, 25 down in the fourth quarter. But the cotton, the All-State sugar, the Goodyear cotton, that new era pinstripe bowl. And now, could it be?
Boy, it would be crazy.
By the way, they only took off 2 seconds on that last play. That seems like a mistake. Now that is a dangerous pass and somehow a catch.
Gotta hustle up.
The tight end Joshua Perkins.
Not to stop for a second. They gotta go. They're gonna clock play this.
Yeah.
Kill it. So they can huddle up.
Well, now you got to do it fast.
Yeah.
So they do get the clock stopped with 30 seconds.
I'm not a huge fan of that right there. I mean, it's early enough in this drive where you can call, you can communicate. It's a typical 2-minute drill. Just get out your cadence, call a play, and run it. A lot of times on the first play like that out of the huddle, you can huddle up and call 2 plays so you know what's coming next.
Well, it's taken them 13 seconds to go 12 yards. They're going to have to pick up the pace if they want to have a shot. 30 seconds to go. Miles with time. He's throwing deep into coverage. Almost intercepted. It was dropped by Kevin Peterson. That would have ended the game.
Yes, it would have. Love to have that one back. The missed opportunity. Reads it, comes up right in front of him.
Man.
Just eat him up a little bit.
The chances are still great that the Cowboys will win, but they've given Washington extra life here, extra chances for the Huskies. Third and 10. Miles pressured, gets away. Gonna run, clock moving. Miles will get out of bounds. First down.
That's a big shake. That last move to get out of bounds. So he would have stayed in bounds. It would have been a little bit tougher.
So you're getting close, Danny, to midfield. Would you take one shot downfield, try to set up an easier end zone target?
Don't forget, too, they brought in Lindquist, the backup quarterback, at the end of the half. They're bringing a bigger arm. So maybe get one more play, but have him ready to go.
Miles on first down. Miles throws. And this one is intercepted by Peterson. He got the second chance, and he didn't miss this one. Oklahoma State can start to celebrate. A difficult year for Mike Gundy, but it ends in a Gatorade bath.
That is a cold one, too.
Ooh. As the Cowboys take a knee, and that will do it from Tempe. Touchdown underdogs, and they got the job done.
Pulled off a big upset. Got to give him a lot of credit to Mike Gundy, motivating his team. They're carrying some momentum into the offseason.
Well, things changed when that guy, number 10, took over with 2 games to go for Oklahoma State. They salvaged the regular season, became bowl eligible, and they took advantage of it with a win against Chris Peterson and the Huskies here. So Mike Gundy completes the handshake. Maybe he can take a second to get thawed off after the ice bath.
He's going to need it.
One of the coldest nights in recent memory here in the desert. But the Cowboys get their 7th win. Huskies will finish 8-6 with Mike Gundy. Here's Allison Williams.
Thank you guys very much, Coach Gundy. You get the win tonight, secure a winning season and a victory here in the Cactus Bowl. How'd you guys get it done?
Well, our defense really played well, and then we were able to get some big plays late in the game. Played well as a team, you know. The kicker missed one there at the end. We should have centered the ball for him. That was a poor decision on my part. But we're able to rally and had great effort. I'm just proud of the players, the coaches. Everybody's worked hard, and they've turned this into a really good season. So I'm proud for them, and I'm proud for Oklahoma State.
You mentioned big plays late. One of them came from James Castleman. Take me through kind of the thought process of getting your big defensive lineman involved on offense.
Well, James is a tremendous athlete, and when we went into the last game, I was upset that I didn't use him more on offense, and it worked out well for us. So it's really good for everybody. Looking forward to Oklahoma State coming together and building in the future, and I'm just proud of everybody here.
Coach Gundy, thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Allison and Mike, thank you very much. The post-game trophy ceremony coming up next on ESPN3 for Danny Cannell, for Allison Williams, and our great ESPN crew that's done such a nice job all season long. Dave Fleming saying so long. SportsCenter coming up in 15 seconds.